Genesis chapter 2, verse 7. The Lord God formed man of the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life. And man became a living soul. As I said a week or two, a couple days ago, sorry, this isn't Bible class, this is morning devotions. If you ask a child what's the difference between men and the animals, he will probably reply, man has a soul. In fact, most adults will give the same answer. But Genesis 1 and elsewhere tells us that the animals have or are living souls. And here's the second thing. There's a Bible storybook that we use around here. I won't name the authors because she's generally pretty good. But as she comes to this passage, she says something like, so God made this body and he put man's soul in it. What's a soul? Well, the soul is the part you can't see. It's a really important part. When you look at your mom, it's not her arms, her hands, or her face that you love. It's something deep inside. Because if she lost her arms, she'd still be your mom. If she lost her legs, she'd still be your mom. And if she lost her head, I don't think we really need to be teaching children that your mom can lose her arm and head or body or heart, and that's okay, because it's something you can't see that's a really important thing. We know one another by the bodies that God has given us, and true, there is something deeper and invisible. That consciousness, spirit or soul, as we call it. But when God first tells us about the creation of man, he doesn't say that he made a body and put a soul in it. Listen to the words. God formed man of the dust of the ground. It doesn't say he formed man's body, although certainly it was the body that he formed. But before he has even animated, before man becomes a living soul, he is still man. And this has profound implications for things like burial, for instance, in the doctrine of the resurrection. But having formed man from the dust of the ground, from chemical elements, from material substance, he breathes into his nostrils the breath of life, the spirit of life, and man becomes a living soul, an animated creature, a sentient being. It is only much, much later, and mostly in the New Testament, that the word soul begins to take on the connotations of the invisible part of us, the spiritual dimension. For most of the Bible, it means a person. When 3,000 souls were saved on the day of Pentecost, it doesn't mean 3,000 disembodied spirits. It means 3,000 people. And it is important, as we deal with children and with one another, that we recognize this. The body is important. The body is part of who man is and who man's supposed to be. And when the soul is separated from the body, that's not a good thing. That's unnatural. That's called death. And it's an enemy. We need to recognize that. And so it does matter what your body looks like and how you treat your body and the respect you show to your body and to other people's body, even in death. Later on in Genesis, we're going to get to Sarah's burial. There's a whole chapter given to how much respect Abraham shows Sarah in her death. And it says that Abraham buried Sarah, not that he buried a corpse of what once was Sarah. Just as here, God formed Adam from the dust of the ground before he ever came alive. The body is us. We need to remember that, while also remembering that there is, of course, more to it.